Phineas and Ferb is part of Disney and they own the copyright. This video is to educate people on filmmaking, story structure and plot.
Phineas and Ferb is a masterpiece of storytelling. The plot structure is very deep and intense. Phineas and Ferb has 2 Emmy wins for Best Animation and 243 episodes in total. But what's unique about it is that they never steer away from the way the episodes are structured, okay? So what you're looking at right now is the initial concept art, right? This is what the art initially looked like when they were making the concepts of the characters. The idea of Phineas and Ferb came up in 1990, but the show premiered on Feb 1st, 2008. That is approximately 15 years. And the reason it took this long was because of how complex the structure of each and every episode is. It was never been seen before. When we look at the way a traditional plot structure works, there are 3 main steps. We have the setup, we have the conflict, which has some sort of an emotional stake, and then we have a resolution. Phineas and Ferb completely takes that away, takes it, throws it out the window. For Phineas and Ferb, every single plot structure is predictable. The first plot is the plot between Phineas and Ferb, right? There's no major problem that needs to be solved. The actual problem is that they are bored, right? They need something to do. There's not much emotional stakes. And we know from the structure of the story is that they can never get caught. That is a predictable outcome that will always stay consistent throughout every single episode. Their core need is to find the joy in everyday life. How often do we see that? We have another plot that happens simultaneously. We have Candace. Now, Candace is what creates the conflict for Phineas and Ferb. But there's a predictable outcome for Candace, and that is that she never gets to bust the boys. She believes that they're breaking the rules and she wants her mom to know about it. But the inventions always disappears at the very last moment. So the boys just know that she isn't going to catch them. And there's always a predictable outcome. We know that she's not going to catch them, right? But her main goal is to convince her mom that the kids are doing some crazy stuff. Another plot that happens is between Doofenshmirtz and Perry, right? Doof is this evil scientist who wants to take over the world, and the pet platypus is fighting that evil scientist, and he wins every single time. It's another predictable outcome. It's 3 predictable outcomes, which is absolutely crazy. It's never seen before. But what's beautiful about the characters of Phineas and Ferb is that there are no evil characters, right? The show gives us a reason to love every single character. So if you look at Dr. Doof, right? He had abusive parents growing up. So he works hard to be the best dad that he can possibly be. Even though he's portrayed as the villain, there are so many good qualities to his character. When we look at Candace, for example, there are many points in the series where we see that Candace genuinely cares about her brothers, right? It's a classic sibling rivalry that happens. There's no hate in there. It talks volumes about the characters of the show, right? And the way the show is written, it's written in a way that no one is truly a bad character. You can pick for any character and you will have a reason to fall in love with those characters, right? Genre bending. Genre bending is done so well. There are so many singles in the series that are iconic, right? No one's ever gonna forget them. That's how iconic and good some of these songs are. And it's very rare that we have a show that has such iconic songs, and they do it consistently, banger after banger after banger, right? And there are subplots as well. Look at the subplots, right? We have Candace and Stacy, their friendship. Candace and Jeremy, right? And we have Phineas and Isabella. Perry has a literal office that he goes to. There's so much that happens. And they have 11-minute episodes. They stick to the same structure and they do it incredibly well. There's something that we can take away from this type of a structure, right? And that is that it is okay to break the norms. Rules are meant to be broken, right? Phineas and Ferb breaks every conventional rule of storytelling, but they do it in a way that is truly awesome. If our character is written in a way that breaks the traditional rule of a plot, that's completely fine as long as it's justifiable. Where does Phineas and Ferb get the money to build a roller coaster? They still do, right? That talks a lot about how you can easily just take away the aspect of realism. And if you do it in a way that's right, it is a very effective tool. That being said, my name is Tanishq. I'm a filmmaker and photographer. I make these videos to help you get better at storytelling. I love making videos. So if you found this entertaining, please subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.